The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Okay, shall we do it?
Do you need to clap?
I won. It's a race, eh?
All right, let's go. Sorry, that's completely off brand, isn't it? Sorry about that.
It was
I
crazy.
apologise. Kia ora, welcome along to the Real Pod. It is the day after the night before for us. My name's Jane Yee. I'm joined by Duncan Grieve and Alex Casey. We've got Ti here also in our Zoom room, making sure that we don't get up to any mischief. But this is your reality TV in real life in New Zealand podcast, but also a live chat recap podcast. Because
Your
last night,
home of live entertainment. Live Nation.
last night we hosted a live chat on Instagram, and I don't know what it was. I was basically high on drugs at the time.
It really did. I think Natalie at the spin-off put it perfectly when she said it had real telethon vibes.
It's amazing that we got to telethon vibes in 15 minutes when you get to telethon vibes normally in a telethon after about 16 hours.
I think it was the complete absence of a plan and people just being put on the telly because they were there.
Yeah.
That was it wasn't. Did we have any plan to put people in the game, or was that just?
No, I didn't even know that I was capable of it. I could bring them in, but I didn't know how to get them out. So maybe next time I'll figure that out. But we had the likes of Cassie Roma from The Apprentice, Mike the Auctioneer from The Apprentice, Lucy from The Corner.
Three real life cornies and two celebs, which is sounds like the magic mix, Stuart.
And Stuart Soman Lund, who sort of straddles staff celeb corny.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Ollie Chick, who is I don't know, if Wayne's the mayor, what's Ollie Chick?
Deputy
Mayor?
Deputy
Holtz?
or secretary? Secretary maybe?
Anymore.
Secretary
General?
Brigadier?
Kamish.
But Ollie was great because his camera wasn't, there's something wrong with it, and it was very foggy, and it just looked like he was in some sort of beautiful mist.
Did have ghost vibes. Cassie wore her robe, came up with a few new hashtags, hashtag Robe up for the Real Pod. I think it's something that we could really take with us into the future.
I feel like it's got at least a very...
Hashtag show us your underbed.
Someone was like, I didn't know underbed was a term. I'm not sure it is, but it is now.
It is now. One of my favourite moments was Mike took us through a breathing exercise. You know, that was his big final pitch for The Apprentice. And it was sort of 11 sharp breaths in and out of the mouth, and then everyone just kind of fainted. It was like mass hysteria.
It was 11 sharp breaths in and out of the mouth, and then after the 11th, you hold your breath, and then you breathe out, and then you hold your breath again. And I was lightheaded after about 6 sharp breaths. By 11, I was in a weird, dissociated, blissful, but also maybe dying state.
Well, you were carrying. You had some extra ammunition on board.
Oh, it's true. I did. I've taken painkillers for my old lady back.
But even me, who was as sober as I've ever been, I was kind of ultimately blissing out / fainting by the end of it. The problem
I do think
there's-
it's a news story though, because when kids used to do that at schools, when they used to do like challenges to pass out and stuff, I feel like that's basically what Mike was getting us to do.
What was our host responsibility in that situation? Like, are we liable if someone had blacked out and donked their head or something? Nah.
I'm having a BBC moment as Charles just walked
my
into the background in a
gosh.
Zoom.
Victor,
What do you want?
Victor, Jude.
No, it's Jude. What do you want?
Jude.
He's embarrassed. He's halfway in the door.
Yeah.
And he's just lurking there. He's lurking there like Ollie Chicknick. Anyway, if you want to join the corner, lots of stuff going on in there at the moment. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/ Real Pod Corner, and on Instagram we are at the Spinoff Podcast Network. You need to follow us to be part of our exciting lives.
We tried to invite Colin into the live, but he doesn't follow Spinoff Podcast Network, which is a betrayal.
Colin.
Rose the day. I also like the double entendre there, Jane, of needing to follow us to be part of our exciting lives.
I thought you were talking about a Rudy entendre.
No, a rare
Rudy
peop-
Entendre. That's your drag queen name.
Oh, it is. Okay, shall we do some real news?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, I don't know. I don't even know what real news is anymore, but there's an influencer doctor from the US who's coming to New Zealand. Did you read about this?
I saw that it happened on Slack, my main news gathering resource now. But I don't understand how it can be. Like, if she's not here, she just got a plan to... Because you could...
She's accepted a job at
difficult.
Southland Hospital. So
Okay.
I don't know if there's some exemption for, aliens of exceptional ability in the medical field during COVID times. But Mama Dr. Jones, as she's known, 250,000 likes on Insta, 837,000 on TikTok. I think we should get in early and have her as our medical specialist on the Real Pod. We need one.
Is she
give
all
her
good,
another life.
or is she like the
I don't
vegan
know.
teacher?
I don't know. I've not done my research. I prefer to let others do my research for me, as you know.
It feels like it'll be quite on brand for the spin-off to... Sorry, not for the spin-off, but the Real Pod brand for us to inadvertently, like, hire a sort of, like, anti-vax doctor with really questionable views across the board and just sort of unknowingly platform them for months before figuring out that they got their
Can I
degree
just
online.
Can I just say, with 837,000 followers on TikTok, I don't think we're platforming them. They would be platforming us. And so maybe in a weird double bluff, we could weasel our way into their following and then set the record straight.
Or by taking up their time
Stopping them.
introducing them to our tiny audience, are we actually deplatforming them
Yes,
because we're taking them away from their much bigger platforms of their own? And that's
exactly right.
Okay.
It's a whole new system. Alex Casey had a birthday. I know we talked about it in the live, but we haven't talked about it on the pod official yet. So Alex Casey had a birthday on the weekend. She turned the big 30 and best day of her life.
It was the best day of my life. I was absolutely lavished with contactless deliveries and had a wonderful video put together by a good friend, featuring all my good friends from
Exclusively your
the
good friends.
entertainment world. Top of the rankings, Lorna Zabritsky from Coast, wishing me a very happy birthday, saying I wish I could be there to celebrate with you. Mike Putter thanking me for supporting him through his career. It's just a very emotional tape. A lot of shirtless men as well. Jack from The Bachelorette strummed me a... Was it Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Yeah.
Wearing nothing but a cowboy hat.
And black nail polish.
And black nail polish. Stephen from The Apprentice filmed himself kind of I don't know if nude, but definitely in the shower with no top on.
But who goes in the shower in underwear or togs? I think we have to presume full nude.
I think we have to presume full nude. And the final shirtless man was Colin Mathura-Jeffrey, who wished me a happy birthday, shirtless in bed with a cardboard cutout of himself, which is just exactly what I wanted for my birthday. It's crazy that he pulled it off.
Also, I want to thank all the cornies who submitted it as well, because they're people that aren't necessarily used to being on camera, and so a few of them pushed past some of their fears about filming themselves doing a little birthday message for you, and and really came through. So thank you from me, and Alex, I'm sure you want to thank them as well.
Incredible corny submissions. A lot of people embracing the corn filter, which I think is a really powerful filter, but also a really good range of cats from the cornies.
Yeah.
The incredible cat Buddy, who's got like the biggest face I've ever seen in my life, and then this other big fluffy cat. It was very heartwarming. I loved it. I loved every moment of my birthday. Thank you to everyone who made it so special. It was very emotional.
Hi.
If you'd had to pay open market, free market, non-hyper goodwill cameo prices for that video,
I'd be
would have
broke.
run you to thousands of
Into the
dollars.
thousands.
Easily.
It was 15 minutes long. 15 minutes long, and I even had a couple of celebs who missed the deadline, and so if they'd made it in, I mean JJ Feeney, she missed the deadline. She was like, I totally would have. I only just saw this,
That's crazy. There was also a shout out the corny who seemingly baked a cake.
No, definitely baked a cake.
Definitely baked a cake.
I saw some of the B-roll. I saw some of the B-roll footage. Actually baked the cake.
Bloody moving, and it's said on the corny, and I'm sorry on the side of it, and it's just divine. No, it was the best film I've ever seen.
I think we should submit it for the Oscars for short film.
Probably.
Didn't you do film studies at school and write a blog called The Filminist?
I did do that actually. Ex-Flix reviewer gives this film 5 stars.
See, she knows what she's talking about. We've got a format change starting next week. Duncan, we talked about this, just Alex and I, on the non-Duncan pod, the bonus pod that went out on Friday. So basically, if you missed that news, the Real Pod is being split in twain. This silly stuff will be one podcast, and then another podcast being released each week will be a recap podcast, and we're going to be doing Celebrity Treasure Island exclusively on those episodes. So that's just some housekeeping, really, just to let you guys know.
Tremendously excited about Celebrity Treasure Island.
Honestly, we really need it. Like, I just think this is going to this might make lockdown good. Like how much we're going to be able to dig into it, I think is going to, it's a bit like the reason why I was able to get all those celebrities to do those messages is A, because they love Alex mostly, but B, because they're all in lockdown and going crazy and got nothing better to do. And I feel like that could be what happens with Celebrity Treasure Island. Like, we could see a real groundswell of a following.
It's true, actually. Like, we need something to unify us as a nation. And probably Celebrity Treasure Island is it. I don't think the virus is not a unifying enough foe. It needs to be a reality show.
Oh, what else is happening? Ryan Bridge got pulled over. Did you see that? He got pulled over on his way to work. Yeah,
and he had to Google himself.
He had to Google himself to prove who he was because he wasn't carrying ID. Of course, the police saw a fella driving along at 4 a.m. with a beanie on. He's all rugged up because it's cold. They went, oh, sus. Pulled him over. And he was like, I'm Ryan Bridge from the telly. Don't believe me? Google, look. and that's passable. I find that reassuring the next time I get pulled over.
It also gives you a sense of the mountain to climb for the AM show if he does turn out to be Garner's replacement. Because I'm sure Duncan Garner doesn't need to Google himself too often.
That's true.
No.
That's true. But also, Is this a sign of the inequity between the celebs and the hoi polloi, you know? Like, as a hoi polloi, you could Google yourself and go, look, see, there's me at my work, and the police officers go, not good enough. But if you're Ryan Bridge, you go, look, there's me on the tally at my work, and they go, great stuff, off you go, you know?
Is that a direct quote?
Off you go.
Probably. Anyway, anything else?
Is anyone else in the running? Have we heard anything else about the AM show? Or is it just going to be Bridge? Is it Bridge all the way?
What will the headline be if he gets it? Duncan? Build a bridge? Bridge over troubled water?
Alex is a far better headline writer than me, especially for that sort of carry on.
What do you got, Alex?
Bridge Club. Bridge.
Whoa. That is inside the artist studio.
Bridge the gap? What if he was just filling in? He is just filling in. Bridge the gap.
Bridge the gap. But then who? But yeah, okay. But who's the real one going to be then?
I don't know. Someone called Gap would be handy.
I think it might get too complicated. I don't think it's a given that it's Bridge. I think it's like quite a complicated one for 3. Because normally it would be like, could it be Tova? Because they have the star system, right? Where Garner was political editor, got to do other stuff. Then Gower took over. Now he gets to do other stuff. Tova will be an amazing host.
What I'd like them to do is go back through their old audition tapes for the project, actually.
Oh, yeah. I know where this is going. See if there's anyone on a strange angle with scabs on their face.
They've already got a door with a nameplate that says Duncan on it. Don't have to replace that. Just get Duncan Grieve in. Duncan G, even.
It's a big cost saving. I've also been on the AM show more than once. Not many more times than twice. So not saying I was a hugely popular or acclaimed guest, but, I know the studio. I know the way to the studio. Think about it.
Would you do it?
No.
If you wouldn't, definitely not. 100%. If TV3 rang you and said, hey, we've got a gig for you, Duncan. It is going to be early mornings, but it's going to propel you to fame and glory.
I probably would do it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you
the
for
headline,
being honest.
Grieve not. Duncan's here. Front page of the Herald.
Oh, my God.
That's very, very clever.
I love this.
A bridge between two Duncans?
Yes. I would really, I like this new feature of the podcast today of Alex just shouting out headlines as we go. No pressure.
I think bridge, human bridge is right up there.
No, I thought it was Bridge Club.
Oh, yeah, sorry, bridge club.
What about 3 Garners, a new Duncan?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good too.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, it has to happen. Like, these headline opportunities are too good.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, something else that's happened is magpies diving on cyclists. Did you know this was a thing? You would know, Duncan.
Yeah,
You're
this is a huge thing in the Wairarapa. It happened to my dad when he used to cycle around the same area.
Right. So some fella who gets out on his bike quite a lot has selfie filmed himself being basically not quite attacked, but definitely taunted by magpies who keep swooping down on him. Magpies are terrifying.
They are terrifying.
Duncan,
They
have you
pick your
been
eyes.
swooped on?
Not that I recall. I was more focused on the dangers of my fellow road users as a cyclist than the danger from above. But who knows what was going on around me? I think that maybe that's more of a country cyclist problem.
Yeah. And that's the urban rural divide, isn't it? Magpies or Mack trucks, you know? Which would you
Joe
rather?
got swooped on by a magpie when we were at Castle Hill. Was it Castle Hill? Famous filming location for Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia.
I know
And
this
Joe-
now from your quiz on your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
I learned something on the weekend.
Joe is atop a mighty rock, and then behind him, very like Lord of the Rings style, this giant magpie just went boom, 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 and then boom, and like just flew at his face. It was so crazy. It was very exciting. He was fine.
So no damage done?
No damage
Didn't make
done.
contact?
Didn't make any dramatic contact. I think he sort of went into a little ball. But yeah, you got to be careful out there.
Does he have a thing against birds now?
I don't think so. He hates dogs the most, which is a problem. But
Really?
yeah.
He had
a run in with a dog as a child. You know, that sticks around, that stuff.
Oh, he came over and I had Pickle here, didn't he? Pickle was annoying. Sorry, Joe.
That's all right.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spinoff. As we find ourselves navigating a new outbreak and lockdown, everyone here at The Spinoff remains committed to bringing you quality independent journalism, which, of course, includes our coverage of COVID-19. It's not an exaggeration to say we couldn't do this work without the generous support of our members. So, if you'd like to help us keep Aotearoa informed, please visit thespinoff.co.nz/members for more details and to donate today.
Can we talk about celebrity spotting?
Yes.
Out in our stupid little walks?
Who have you seen at the Mobile, Jane?
I saw absolutely no one at the Mobile, but to be fair, and I didn't mention this in the chat when I was talking you through my 5-minute walk to the Mobile to get bread, which they didn't have. But on the way back, there was a guy, and I think this is born of pure jealousy, okay, because I have not spotted any celebs, probably because I don't stray more than about 200 metres from my home. But I saw a guy who, from a distance, for a split second with a beanie and a mask on, could have been John Polino. But it wasn't.
John Polino looking like it.
Oh my god! Even in his absolute pomp, I don't know if he qualified as a celebrity.
Come on. But he's a reality TV star.
Was he?
The Kitchen Job. Oh my god, Duncan, do you not know about The Kitchen Job?
I don't.
Was that what it was
I
called?
was just thinking of him as like the guy with the sort of third string mayoral candidate and sort of Luigi Wee associate.
We have got 10 minutes on this meeting and we haven't even started recapping the block.
Oh, that's all right. The more we can squish and squeeze the block recap, the better for the podcast.
It was real dull. Yes, the Kitchen Job was basically John Polino going around telling people how to improve their cafes and stuff. It was great. You can see, I think it's on New Zealand Screen or it's somewhere. It's somewhere. You can watch it. Anyway, Alex, you've got a proper actual celebrity spotting.
I got a proper one. Yesterday, who ran past me and Joe on our daily walk? But Artie himself from the block. And he was sprinting up Mount Eden with a pace that I have not seen before on my walks.
He's
and I
immediately
knew. I saw the hair and I was like, and then he turned his head slightly and I saw the bone structure. And I was like, do I run? And then I was like, no, that's insane.
Hang on. So hang on. Were you travelling in the same direction? You were going uphill?
Yeah, like he passed us. He overtook us.
So you recognised him from behind?
Kind of, yeah. It's a skill. He wasn't wearing a mask either. But he was running very fast.
That helps with recognition, but not so much
okay.
with COVID transmission. Actually, it does help with COVID transmission.
But he was running so fast. I feel like the droplets were just, they wouldn't.
Straight back down the kick.
Exactly.
That is definitely not science.
It's definitely not science. But he was running so fast. And then I was like, maybe we'll catch up to him. Obviously safely, at a distance. And then at the summit, he was taking in the lovely sights. And from far away, I did a really big wave. Like, you got to do things real big when you got the mask on and everything, when you're invisible.
Or if you're
man.
Alex Casey.
Invisible man mode. Did a big old wave and then just like a really big eyes. Tried to do a really big sort of friendly face. And he looked sort of puzzled. And then I said, "It's Alex from the Real Pod. Thank you for my birthday message." And then he suddenly realised who he was talking to. Well, I was yelling from afar at this point.
Were there many others around?
Yeah, Mount Eden's pretty busy. There were quite a few people at the summit. Everyone kind of spaced out. And yeah, just said best of luck for the show. He said he was quite annoyed about the disqualification, which was on Sunday night. But
why though? They were justifiably disqualified, in my opinion. And never going to win anyway.
He said the classic thing of like, things go on behind the scenes, production, nah.
Oh, do you reckon production put on, like, skinned them and then put on their faces?
Save it for the SIG. This is the only thing we've got to talk about.
Oh, yeah, this is just the seamless transition. But no, it was very exciting. It'll be very hard to top that, I think, in terms of the sightings out there.
Yes,
but I will
indeed.
endeavour to keep spotting.
Okay, let's get into reality check soon as we've got 6 minutes and 46 seconds.
I have 4 weeks to decide I'm going to drop my entire life fee.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
Reality check.
All right. Just a short amount of time to recap the Block NZ this week. I watched Sunday night's episode this morning. I watched up to sort of the end of the judging, and I don't know if anything dramatic happened to the cliffhanger because I was just like, gotta go, gotta get into a meeting. But it was outdoorsy week, wasn't it? It was balcony and courtyard week.
Twas.
And the family arrived. Lots of family, I feel like. Heaps of family. Mums,
good to see
dads,
Dan's-
aunties, girlfriends, daughters, sons,
Did
cousins.
Dan's sister come back?
Yes, Anita came back. She was
Love
wearing
her.
a bright orange top. Highlight of my week. And the families all did some cleaning. That's about it. And the blockheads got out and put in some barbecues, laid some outdoor tiles,
Outdoor
some decking,
TVs.
louvers, outdoor TVs.
I wonder about that outdoor TV. That whole space, I mean, Duncan and I visited these very homes and saw these outdoor spaces. They were embargoed at the time. Dylan and Keegan's one has a lot of stuff in it. Like it
It
was
looks
a lot
so
packed
packed.
in
It
there.
looked like they just shoved stuff out there while they were like trying to figure out what to do with all the, like when you're like when you're
Yeah.
moving house and you just put everything on the deck and we'll sort it out later. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. And also what's not really, I don't know if they mentioned this, but yeah, it's like kind of cool and weird, I guess, to have an outdoor TV. Seems kind of fun. And have this big outdoor entertaining area. But they are like sandwiched between the houses. So I feel like that would be a real pain for your neighbours. And also, I don't know if I could relax and be myself and watch outdoor TV knowing someone's probably filming me from the next house, a la Dylan. I don't know. I just don't know if it'll get as like used as some of the others. I loved
think in the
Connie and
in the-
Rachel's one.
In the Villa Wars, they had an outdoor TV, but it was set up much more like a room outside. It was a lot more private back in the day. Well, Connie and Rachel's, they scored really badly. They got 14. What did you love about it?
I loved the hidden fridge, the James Bond fridge that's in the wooden
kitchen.
like slat setup. I don't know. I love a festoon light.
There was certainly not enough soft seating, as Anne always pointed out. She pointed out at I can't remember whose courtyard it was, but like across the board for me, there wasn't enough lounging type stuff. There were some little settees and so on, but not enough just like full layout. I mean, that's how I like to be at all times.
You want a chaise lounge.
I want to lay out. I want a lounger. That's what I want. That's all I want. And anything that can be eaten on a table can be eaten on your lap, so I'd rather have lounges than a table.
Wow.
It's just me.
I tend to agree. I feel like the outdoor spaces are tiny. Like these are massive hulking houses that are really, really big inside, but they take up almost all of the land. Very efficient land use. Love it. But I do feel like you're going to be extremely overlooked. So whatever the activity, like you were saying, Alex, like the activity that you choose to partake in out there, you've got to be very comfortable with it. Reading seems fine. Eating dinner, that seems fine. But I sort of agree. I feel like watching TV, watching the All Blacks or the Black Ferns or similar, quite
Sky
a rowdy
One porn.
activity.
It's like Sky One soft porn.
Sky One porn. These are the two main content pillars of television, as I understand it. You're just going to feel a bit self-conscious doing that in front of all your neighbours, knowing that you can be, as you said, they could air you out to the judges.
Or you'd feel like you'd have to invite them over to watch the rugger. And what if you don't have a good relationship? What if there's ideological differences? We don't know.
I don't really talk to my neighbours, not because I don't want to, but it just sort of hasn't happened. I introduced myself when we first arrived, but I did bring down their wheelie bin down the driveway the other day, thinking I was doing a nice neighbourly thing. But then as I left it, I was like, do they think that I'm pass-egging them out for not bringing their bin in?
I think a note is how you solve that. Just explaining that you're not being passive aggressive.
That's too much.
Just trying to be helpful.
That's way too intense to leave a note.
And then a follow-up note saying, I realise the note seems quite formal, but just to be clear, I'm quite a chill. And just sort of get a long chain of post-it notes responding to. And I think that should sort it out.
We've got 1 minute 38 seconds. Okay, so Tim and Artie got disqualified because they were spotted by Dylan from Up on High, as you have alluded to, bloody putting in plants at 2 and 5 in the morning. Broke the rules, got disqualified. Shouldn't worry about it because they were never going to win anyway. They only got 18 points. Connie and Rach did terribly. They got 14. They're just a disaster from start to finish, really. Meg and Dan got 17.5. Did they play... Someone played a -2 on them or something? No, someone played a +2. Something got undone. Anyway, Dylan and Keegan won because they had all the trimmings.
They had all the...
Exactly
all the
1 minute. Less than a minute to go.
I really liked the quote from Mark justifying the disqualification, that they basically are trying to say they're trying to be as responsible as they can and make sure that people sleep from at least 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Because
I think what it is they want to have some rules so that people can break them so they can disqualify them. But anyway,
Jane, are you sure you can't make me the host or something?
How do I do that?
Just go, there should be some little dots around me. And
make host, and then will we get a whole nother 40 minutes?
Yeah, or just many as we want.
Whoa!
Who's the host now? I don't think that's changed anything.
No, it's just less than a minute.
Nah, it should be me now.
Oh, we're soon going to find out.
It's gone from my
We're going
one.
to get cut off. I just want to shout out Mark Richardson's quote that an overly tired blocky is a dangerous blocky.
That's true.
Very serious sentiment. Very funny to say blocky.
I think that they do seem to be a bit more work safe this season, even though they've actually had more.
And that is the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for listening. That just cut out completely. Thank you very much to T.I. here for recording. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Duncan. I'm just talking to myself now in my bedroom. We are going to be back next week with our new format. Don't forget, it's going to be regular Real Pod for one episode and then a recap of Celebrity Treasure Island, which premieres on Monday night on TV2. All right, then. I guess I'll just say goodbye. Shall I? Bye.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, Senior Writer at The Spin-Off. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.